Hello and welcome to the movie show. I am Bill.
And I am Jack.
And this is going to be a show about
movies.
We're going to be talking about movies, all kinds of movies. We're going to be critiquing movies. We're going to be expanding our movie horizon by taking other people's movie ideas, you know?
Yep. And we're going to be watching a lot of movies we've never seen. Like you said, filling out our libraries.
The thing is, we're going to review new movies, old movies, good movies, bad movies. We're going to talk about our favorite directors. We're going to be talking about our favorite scenes. We're going to be talking about our favorite actors. I mean, it's just...
I believe the first...
Why did we call this the movie show? Because we're going to be just... It's all movies, people.
What else could we call
Nothing
it?
personal going on here, just movies.
Our first movies that we watched are a little over a decade older than
That's
each
right,
other.
right. One was
quite-
97, Lincoln...
2012.
2012.
And speaking of Lincoln, I believe that's where we're going to start to tell you exactly what happened in Lincoln, a movie that is almost 3 hours long. So Abraham Lincoln starts the film just about before the first end of the war battle comes around, and he is saying now is the time to pass the 13th Amendment to free the slaves. But he has a lot of trouble along the way. So he's going around and they're lobbying. There are a lot of great characters that come in to do that. And a lot happens. The end of the battle that they wanted to doesn't go as well. There are a lot of racists in the House that are arguing, against the amendment, and they have the problem of people on their own side trying to uphold the Emancipation Proclamation, but that, in fact, only frees slaves if they're declared property, which is still pretty much slavery. So they have a lot of fights over it, but at the end, Abraham Lincoln becomes impassioned and he convinces his party to pass the 13th Amendment, and then it's a happy ending and nothing bad happens at the end. I want to start with some of the casting.
Okay.
The first notes I have, Sally Fields plays Mary Todd Lincoln, who is an extremely complex character in real life. Undiagnosed schizophrenic, lost 2 of her children. Really, I mean, there's only one person I can think to play a character, and that is real-life crazy person Sally Fields. Now, I'm not saying she's crazy. I'm saying that she really just plays crazy people brilliantly. And there was a lot more comedy in it than I expected.
That made you laugh.
There were a lot. Those...
James Spader, I thought his character was a funny one.
He is excellent in everything he does. But if you're going to watch first of all, this is a movie you watch once and you enjoy it and then you never watch it again because it's long. I've heard this movie described twice to me. 2.5 hours of a walking, talking penny and 3 hours of legislature.
Oh!
And I'm like, neither of those sound appealing.
That doesn't.
It's a one-watch movie, but it's worth it. But if you're just going to watch scenes, all of the House floor scenes where they're arguing are incredible.
Fantastic.
There's a scene where Tommy Lee Jones, was it Thaddeus? Or
Yep,
Thaddeus?
Yep.
Is speaking
Stevens
on behalf of the 13th Amendment, and he's always lobbied to say all men are created equal, literally, and he goes against that in some ways to say, I am not claiming all men are equal, I am only saying before the law, and the Democrats get very upset with him, but he has some line, he says, like, how could I come up here and say all men are created equal, and when you pathetic, disgusting people are so
Can't even crush you with the sole of my shoe.
It was excellent.
The very opening scene, and even a year before when they said that Steven Spielberg was going to helm a Lincoln film, I said, oh my God, I've got to see it because I've always loved Steven Spielberg, always loved him. And especially when he's got his own projects there, he really puts his heart and soul into it when you look at Schindler's List or Saving Private Ryan. And Lincoln was another one of those ones. That was one he did for himself. And I'll tell you, that opening scene where he's talking with the soldiers and the soldier starts to recite the Gettysburg Address, and then the camera pulls into a side shot of Lincoln. John Williams' music swells. And I'll tell you, that's where you're watching great artists from Daniel Day-Lewis, Steven Spielberg, John Williams, Tony Kushner, all come together and tell a fantastic story. I literally wept. To watch Daniel Day-Lewis from his, hitting that table there. Now. I was just, this is what I want to watch in a movie. This is what a movie's about. This is what it's about.
And talking about the historical moments, first of all, I actually kind of don't even want to talk about Daniel Day-Lewis. You mentioned him twice. First time we've mentioned him this time.
Why don't you want to talk about him?
Because he's so brilliant in everything he does.
Right.
I feel like it's it's commonplace.
Well,
Like I
nah.
said, he is such.
He wasn't he Lincoln? Didn't when you're watching that you go, perfect Lincoln.
That's
I'm not seeing Daniel Day-Lewis really.
Yep.
I'm seeing Abraham Lincoln.
That's where the analysis of his performance begins and ends.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis was Lincoln.
Isn't that the key to a great actor? You don't even see that actor.
The difference between a film actor or a movie actor and a movie star. Movie star, you look and go, oh, it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
oh,
right.
Oh,
Okay.
You get those. It's George Clooney.
Yep.
Then there are actors. Oh, there's whatever character Daniel Day-Lewis is playing. Oh, there's whatever character DiCaprio's playing or Hanks
Right.
is playing.
Oh, okay.
They blend right into it.
Getcha.
That's the difference between an actor and a movie
And
star.
I'm not an actor. I'm a movie star.
Yep. So both of us giving Lincoln 4 stars.
See that?
That's our first solid
That's
review.
a 4-star
in the
review.
bag.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie.
The Game was directed by one of my favorite directors, David Fincher, director of Gone Girl, director of Seven, director of Panic Room. Has a great actor, Michael Douglas, playing Nicholas Van Orton. His brother is also named Con Van Orton. And the way it works is that his brother Con has given his brother Nick, who is a loner, a Christmas gift to CRS. That's Customer Recreation Services. And basically what they do is they put you on a game. Well, Michael Douglas goes on a game, which he needed to because that boy had some issues that he needed to work out. And, well, needless to say, the game pushes him to the edge and over and through until he comes out on the other side. Don't open your eyes because it is breakaway glass. We're talking about The Game.
This movie, it's so difficult to describe the pace of this movie. I feel like it's very like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And even the beginning, first of all, we said Succession ripped off the beginning of this movie.
Big time.
Succession just straight up stole. It's one.
The opening.
It's one kid getting kicked into a pool away from like a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And you spoke about the directors and stuff. Did you happen to remember the writers' names? There were 2 writers.
No, you know these writers too. You kept mentioning
They did
them.
The Net. This
Right.
was their biggest movie. I feel like this was a David Fincher coming off Seven, coming off Fight Club, which weren't successes at the time.
But those were his type of movies.
But they were his.
Yeah, he did a studio
So
one here.
Now it's like, I got to do a studio one,
Yep.
make some money,
Yep.
go on to the next one. Seven, I think, made around 70 million.
Yeah.
Which for then was like, he did okay. So he really needed something where people were giving him money so he could start doing his own good movies
Yep.
again. You can tell these are some newer writers that maybe don't understand what genre they're doing. There are a lot of jokes in the beginning, and I feel like they kind of kneecap themselves. There's a joke in the beginning where, one of Nick's many secretaries is giving him his missed calls, and one of them, and Elizabeth comes up, and it cuts, and this is a David Fincher moment, cuts to Nick's face, and you can tell right away, ex-wife or current wife that's getting a divorce. A woman in his life that he is no longer on good terms with, and one of the secretary goes, that's your ex-wife, sir, and he goes, yeah, I think I know who that is.
Yeah.
But then, about 2 minutes later, when they're showing that his brother has called him, they go, call from Mr. Seymour Butts. And I just like...
Seymour Butts.
Yep,
that was his brother Colin.
And of course, the point is to establish his brother's more jovial.
Right.
And that Nick is aware of this.
Right.
So he hears Seymour Butts, he goes, it's
He
probably
knows
my
his
brother
brother.
screwing with you. But as a viewer, I was like, all right, that's 2 jokes. Like, if you do a third one, I'm out. Like, I'm done. I will walk out of this theater.
As a viewer, I'm watching, I'm thinking, if that was me, if I was given that gift of playing this game, would I want to? And absolutely, because just as one of the people said to him, I once was blind, now I can see. He needed to see because he was blind. He was blind to people. He was blind to people he loved. And I think this was important for him to see himself and have a little soul changing. And he needed that. And Thank God for Con for doing that for him. And Con could see he needed that too.
Yes, he did, and he could see the role he needed to play to get them there.
Yeah.
Doesn't say they talk a lot about Connie's background, how he was a drug addict and how he had some problems of his own, being institutionalized in the past.
Right.
But Connie really, like thinking back, Connie knew that he had to be a part of it.
Right.
And that ending scene where, like you said, to make sure the glass is out of your eyes, he gets up, Nick goes right to him.
Yeah.
And just starts weeping, hugging him.
Yeah. And all I got for this is a T-shirt.
That was funny. That was really funny. I didn't remember that till just now. But
And you notice that Con was perfect when he's sitting there, giving the gift to him. He's found himself. He's confident in himself because he played the game, obviously. And the game was played, and look what it did for him. So, yeah, he was all these problems before. The game fixed him.
Yep. And before we talk about the game within the game,
Yeah.
I would like to talk about the parts of the game, the parts that weren't a part of the game.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'm getting in my own head because everything was a part of the game.
Yeah, everything was.
But the parts in the game not directly tied into the game that should not have been in the film The Game.
For example.
For example, there's a scene after he and a girl, a female character, her name is Charlotte,
I think
believe,
so.
and then it turns out her real name is Claire?
Yeah, right, because it changed
Something
again.
like that.
Right.
You were first introduced to her, and God, is she the worst, most annoying character. Just, it's clear that she is going to be interacting with him throughout the movie.
Right.
I mean, obviously to the viewer, and they make her as unlikable as possible. It's like she just doesn't want anything to do with him, and yet she doesn't push him away or say, stop following me. She just kind of is like me, and if I was doing this show right now, I was like, God, Bill, just stop talking. I don't want to do this show with you. So what did you think about this part? It's, like, it's obvious we're going to be here, so why are they writing her? It came around, and
She was helping him move along in the game, though. That was her job.
She was so vocally wanting to help. Remember that scene where she gives him the drink and it's drugged?
Yeah.
And she's so like, oh my God, I'm here to help you. I'm on your side. Blah,
Well,
blah,
that
blah.
was all
and then
ruse,
and then
though,
it turns
obviously.
completely, and she's like, we got everything we need out of you. And
Which was
she's
a ruse
playing
as
the
well.
bad guy.
Yeah, right.
I feel like that beginning part where they're running away together, running from the CRS police.
Yeah, right.
It's all that second part where she's like, I don't want anything to do with you. You're annoying. This, blah, 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 blah. But she's continuing to help him, so it's like, you're giving me conflicting signals here, lady.
Well, I got from that was that, she's there as part of his game, to do what she needs to do, and in the end, it turned out to be a love story, too, because, he asked her to go to the airport with her, so fell in love in the end.
No.
Oh, did
She said they can get coffee at the airport.
Oh, that's right.
I remember saying to him, I mean, she's done this. She does this job.
Yeah,
for a
this
living.
is her
She's
job.
probably had dozens of guys fall in love with her throughout the course
Right.
of the game, and it's not real.
I gotta say, talking about scenes, one of the greatest scenes that is pure David Fincher is when she knocks him out. He wakes up and he's in some type of Mexican cemetery underground. He busts out of the coffin. He gets out of the ground. And it's such a distant shot, and he's wearing all white. They've taken his clothes, and he's wearing these white clothes, and there's a fire in the cemetery. And I'll tell you, it's scenes like that where you have a master director, and one of the reasons why I like David Fincher, to show a man at his total bottom without saying anything. And movies are all symbolic, and the symbolism in it is just so much, and it's so beautiful. For that moment when he walks into the diner and he drops some money, he goes, I got $18.78, and can somebody please give me a ride? And he's broken. And I got to tell you, Michael Douglas as an actor was fantastic in that, because I saw Michael Douglas as Gordon Gekko right at the beginning. He's that arrogant jerk that you can't stand. Perfect Gordon Gekko. Then I saw him as almost Fatal Attraction, where he's vulnerable and he's getting hurt, you know what I mean? I've seen a little bit of Romance in the Stone with his action sequences. So, and falling down, I saw a little, especially in the end there where he's going crazy. Michael Douglas went through his entire repertoire of his acting,
His whole range.
Right. You saw every actor that he probably went with, and I can see why David Fincher casted him in that, because he did exactly what he needed to be to push that story along. And then the moment of realization, where it all comes down to the end, and he falls through the glass, and that's when that blew me away. That was that moment in the movie that I said, whoa, that was cool. That was cool. This is cool. And I like the ending. You know what I mean? And I was happy with the ending.
Yes, the ending it's actually, you know what? Let's not spoil this ending. We somewhat have, but let's not spell it out.
No, I got you.
Because despite our ratings, this is a movie I think you should maybe watch the end of.
Yeah, definitely.
I do. The
movie was worth the ending, wasn't it? I mean, it takes you for the ride to get you to that ending. That was it. I've always liked David Fincher, so I'm grading on a curve, and I kind of let him get by with things. With that said, Michael Douglas' performance in it was fantastic. Sean Penn was wonderful in it, as kooky is. But I agree with Jack under that the pacing of the movie was a little start, stop. And thank God that the writers, I could tell, weren't the best of writers, that luckily it had a good director to kind of keep the train on the tracks. But the train did derail a few times. So I'm going to give it a 3-star out of 4.
I was very curious to hear your answer to that. And you have actually moved me in a little direction.
Oh, a little movement there.
I have seen this movie before a long time ago. There was a point where I was like, oh, I bet that's a clown. And he was like, oh, it is a clown. You've seen this before. And I was like, I just thought it was a clown because its pant legs were different colors.
Well, I would say perceptive.
Well, know about clowns. What can I say?
Here we go.
But you are right. Obviously, if this was directed by anyone else, we'd be giving this a 2 to a 1.
Oh, yeah.
Because they wouldn't have been able to hold it together and use the symbolism Fincher is able to use. But I was going to give this a 2, say it's okay, say that pacing really does damper on even the good qualities, but Michael Douglas' performance through the lulls and the highs, is excellent.
Yep.
You never stop believing in his performance. Yep. Sean Penn doesn't show up that often, but when he does, he always plays the role that he is trying to play in that moment perfectly. Even the female's character, most of her bad parts are chalked up to the writing.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. I've never seen her in any other movie. No. But she was good in this. And all the minor characters, there are a ton of minor characters that come back into play. So you have persuaded me to bump mine back up to a 3.
You're going to a 3-star.
I think it deserves 3 stars to be a good movie. I mean,
all right, here we go. We're going to spin. We're going to spin the wheel, and the wheel is spinning.
The wheel has not been decorated since last time you used
it.
Yeah,
actually, my wife took the wheel and she decorated with those hearts.
Oh, how nice. So let's see.
Well, she sold adult toys, and so she would go to these things and then
define adult toys.
Toys for adults. Here we go.
You might.
It's looking like a 7.
You might not get a pick. You don't, but it's a movie you were interested in.
What?
First pick does not go to Bill Robidoux. It goes to Bob DeToma.
Oh, all right.
In honor of the draft, which is going to be taking place soon.
Yes.
Bob DeToma will be filling in for this pick.
Billy's movie, picked by me, is the science fiction time travel movie, The Final Countdown. It stars Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen, James Ferrantino, the USS Nimitz, and the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. And when I say time travel, I'm talking about...
All right. That's a sci-fi, isn't it? Is it a sci-fi time travel? It's got to be, that's sci-fi and time travel.
About an airship carrier that gets teleported, transported to right before Pearl Harbor.
All right.
So that's going to be
And they have to decide whether or not to interfere with Pearl Harbor. That's a cool, I like that premise. That's going to be a cool check.
Gotta be honest, Bob, even though you've picked this, I'm not totally looking forward to watching this film. Just the premise, I'm like,
all right, we're gonna have to watch it. All right, so that's my movie.
I have never spun a wheel like this.
Here goes Jack with his spin. It's a good spinning wheel. No, it's not bad. It did a full circle like in Price is Right.
I'm always afraid to give it too hard of a spin.
Look at that.
Some of the letters.
I love it.
Some of the letters going
You can see the movie show behind it. Oh, he's got a 12.
A 12.
He spun a 12.
12
What
is the genre that I declared to be the polar opposite
Oh, you're declaring it?
of the game.
That's a big deal.
You declared this genre as the
Oh, I
polar
don't
opposite.
declare anything. That's crazy.
Well, I'm going on the record. I'm slandering Bill Robidoux.
All right,
He
what am I
declared
declaring?
That comedy is the polar opposite genre to the game.
Oh, so I got to pick a comedy?
I have to pick
Oh,
a comedy.
all right. I declare you pick a comedy.
And that is fair. I accept that declarement.
Okay.
And as my comedy, I am going to pick Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey.
I have been looking forward to watching that film for a long time because I am an REM fan.
Oh.
And every time I hear that song, I think of it.
Well, are you an Andy Kaufman fan? Because that's what Man on the Moon's all about.
Only things I know about Andy Kaufman is that apparently he thought really highly of himself and he might have faked his death, but he probably didn't.
Well, then, so tune in next time where we're going to be talking about Man on the Moon and the final countdown.
Final countdown. Thank you all so much for watching, and we hope you come back soon. Any last words, Bill?
Well, no, it's been a pleasure, and thank you all, and we will catch you next time on The Movie Show.
Yep.
I'm Bill Robidoux.
And I'm Jack Kelly. Welcome back, friend.
Welcome back. Thank you, brother. Bye.